Hey guys, Jay here, and today we have big news. POE 3.25. A lot of big changes are coming. It's not that I am going into this one completely blind. I didn't watch the videos myself. However, the news was so big in the weekend that I received a couple of DMs, just directly letting me know that the changes are coming, especially the Simulacrum one, which is absolutely massive. But anyway, let's watch some of it. I mean, in this point, there's a lot of things, right? Pinnacle and Act bosses now have static life bar. I guess this is the same thing as like in the PoE 2 that we see. This is a good thing, right? Because so we don't need to hover over the boss life bar in order to see it, especially when we are playing a bad build, which doesn't delete the boss immediately. Sister Cassia has discovered a new blight oil. Okay. I didn't see this.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, game director on
put
Path
on
of
my
Exile. In the Settlers update, you might come across a new oil, found only in blighted and blight-ravaged maps.
Okay.
All the secret notables that can be anointed on your amulet now use this oil. We have added many more notables to that pool, like this one.
Elusive on you reduce effect 50% slower. Ooh. So basically the uptime is higher. Elusive is remove 20% effect. I guess this potentially can be good on like assassin with like Badge of the Brotherhood build, because you already have a huge amount of elusive effectiveness. So maybe it's good, but again, those builds normally get one additional charge after the anoint, so we never know. Maybe it's time. No, actually, for charge stacking build with elusive like this one, we probably use the Bralakesh boot, so the boots for extra anointment actually didn't work here. So
or this one.
It seems okay. It's not that big of a deal, at least from face value from what I see here. 5% cooldown recovery rate for throwing traps per mine. This just sounds very clunky.
You can find out more about 325 on July 18th at our GGG live event.
Okay, so we actually need to see the list of all the anointments in order to actually know if it is any good. 6th. Ooh.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, game director on Path of Exile. In 325, we're adding a 6th map device slot. This one was a bit...
This one is super impactful. Man. Just simple, like one extra scarab can do a lot. Absolutely huge.
Of a nightmare for our UI designers. You don't want to see the prototypes. Or maybe you do.
I mean, okay, I think the tabula one here is actually very funny, but I mean, isn't it a very obvious way, right? I can immediately think of a very cool thing that they can do, right? Let me just put it super simple here. Right, so this is the map slot, right? One here, another one here, another one here, here. So this is 5 slot, and then the map in the center. Isn't this just super obvious, super cool? They can even just add the star here to make it like some kind of ritual, right? Anyway, the thing that they decided to go for is pretty much what I got here, but reversed. So you turn it off. Yeah, I think this one. They should, if they just reverse this, it looks okay. They can add the star here instead of this rectangle shape. Maybe.
The 5th and 6th map device slots are unlocked by completing either.
Okay.
The 5th.
Okay. This one is funny. This one is funny.
The 5th and 6th map device slots are unlocked by completing either your first 10-way encounter with the Maven or completing your first Tier 17
Yeah, that should be easy.
You can find out more about 325 on July 18th at our GGG live event.
Should be easy.
See you then.
Changing the Bandit quest. Oh.
Hi, I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. In 325, we are changing the Bandit quest reward in Act 2. If you choose to help Oak, he will grant you plus 40 to maximum
40 life. Maybe they are reducing this one to 1 passive, I guess, because 40 life is not worth 2 passive. Right. This is an okay bonus, but it's not as good as the previous one. So probably they are making it 1 passive if we kill all the bandits or something like that. Maybe change another quest to plus 1 point, I guess.
Helping Alera grants you 15% to all elemental resistances. And helping Creighton gives you 8% increased movement speed.
I mean, just take the point, right? Right now, the end game stuff in POE mostly are revolved around cluster jewels. Almost every end game build will be revolving around cluster jewels, so it seems like a no-brainer to take the passive point here, in my opinion.
If you choose to kill all 3, Aramir will give you 1 passive.
Yeah, 1 passive swap. Okay, 1 passive.
We have also changed the Through Sacred Ground quest in Act 2 to provide an additional passive skill point.
Okay.
So
this is the quest that we take the golden hand or something.
Still get the same total number of skill points as before.
Yeah.
You can find out more about 325.
So anyway, that is something I would guess a little bit of a change, because in the end game, right, there's a couple of life stacking builds that can use 40 flat life. That should be an okay thing to take. 8% movement speed for 1 point. I'm not sure. Maybe it's worth it for like just mapping build, very fast mapping characters.
On July 18th at our GGG live
But I would
event.
just
See you
take
then.
1 point most of the time anyway. Okay. Now, the big thing, at least for people who are enjoying the AFK build, like
Hi,
me.
I'm Mark Roberts, Game Director on Path of Exile. In the Settlers update, we have removed the first 15 waves from the simulacrum.
Fine.
Usually,
God.
characters reaching this content were a high enough level that the first
Exactly.
waves were tedious and unrewarding.
Exactly.
Simulacrum should now be a lot faster to run.
Oh, look at the health bar.
Top of
This is
this,
cool.
we have added more opportunities to get the specific unique items.
He's melting the boss with what I would think this one is probably like a bleed lacerate build.
Like voices, by defeating the bosses as you complete waves.
Interesting. Let's see here. Uniques, a lot of uniques. Normally we don't have a lot of uniques like this, or maybe because we kind of hide them all. Ow.
You can find out more about 325.
Anyway, a little bit about the change to the 15 wave simulacrum instead of 30. What this means is, if they do not change these the reward system on simulacrum, if they do not nerf it or buff it, if they stay the same basically, so we do not have to do 15 first waves, which actually mostly give nothing. We only need to do the last 15 waves, which in my opinion is probably saving like 1/3 of the time, because the previous waves we do it a little bit faster Right now, at least for the AFK build that I normally play for Simulacrum, right? I'm not talking about like Poison Spark or anything like that, but for the AFK build, we kind of clear Simulacrum in roughly half an hour. So right now it should be like 20 minutes. That also means the profit per hour, the divine per hour rate for Simulacrum is massively improved. And yeah, I think this one alone, if they do not completely kill the tank cats when stunned archetype by some reason, I think there's no reason to do that. Last league they already kind of nerfed it by removing the mastery, right? So we have to use the ring Valerium for the stun threshold effect. If they nerfed it, if they just nerf the detonate dead chain reaction, because this league the meta build is cast on crit and DD of chain reaction. If they only nerf that and they do not, nerf the mechanic of the cast when stunned, then I think we still have a lot of ways to go around it. If the skill doesn't deal enough damage, we can find other setup that maybe it will deal enough damage. I do have some idea as I talked about in the previous video, and yeah, I will test them all out before the release of the next league 3.25. Right now, I even think that we can have something interesting to do with minions, because the more I kind of think about it, if we play as a champion, we have 100% taunt on hit on the character, which means we can force the enemies to attack the character instead. So we do not need to worry about if we even summon like an army of minions. And right now, I think a decent combo that I just very softly tested is I use like Blade Vortex, basically Blade skill, right? So we have a lot of blades. We can poison with it, which allow us to use the Harrow of Agony for damage. But also, because we already have a lot of blades, we can also use Animate Weapon as the secondary like source of damage. And because they are minion skill, duration skill, so in situation where we do not trigger these spells like a lot, it can potentially be overall a better setup for damage, given that, assuming that it is dealing enough damage. And because we kind of are constantly summoning new minions, right? So we can utilize a lot of different interesting things. For example, the cluster jewel node that make the minions which are summoned recently like immortal, so we don't need to worry about the minion dying instantly. They will always deal damage for a duration, and because we are cast when stunned, we continuously resummon the minions. So we, after 4 seconds, probably if we set it up right, we already replace the minion, the oldest minion, with the new one, because there's the cap, and if we continue to summon, it will desummon the oldest minion and then get a new one. Of course, with that, we can use stuff that like fresh meat support, right? Fresh meat POE. This is an extremely powerful support gem for minions. Minions created by support skill gain Wakened Fury and Adrenaline for 10% of their duration. And because the duration of let me see, the duration of a animate weapon. Let's see, animate weapon of range arm here, for example. Duration here, let me see, 40 seconds. By default, it is already 40 seconds. So 4 seconds is 10% of the duration, which also coincidentally is recently in PoE is the last 4 seconds. So in the 4 seconds that they are summoned and they survive, they will have all the absolute massive bonuses of the fresh meat support, giving them a lot of crit multi. Super good, right? So anyway, I'm excited for this one, for this league even more when they release this shit. Simulacrum. If you follow this channel, you probably know that I spent a lot of my time in the Simulacrum the last couple of leagues. So yeah, see you there. I think this is much better this time. Way better. Well, I hope everyone is excited as much as I am right now. Hope you're doing well. And remember to like and subscribe. Till next time, peace.